Alright everyone, it's time for the Occult video 186, Inspiration and Spontaneous Daemons, or Demons in the most literal sense. I've already got a video on the topic within the Occult playlist here, of the topic of what the original word demon actually meant. Demon had an A in it, and originally it was any sort of supernatural force acting upon the human. It could be the ghost of a departed individual that was, not necessarily possessing in the Christian sense. We're talking about the pagan era now, but was capable of acting through them in some way, inspiring them, giving them an idea, talking to them, to their mind or whatever. A more malevolent force, a natural spirit, sort of the nymphs and sylphs sort of thing, although they use different terms for them. Or possession simply by an idea. The concept was that if a person got a spontaneous idea that was not arrived at by voluntary conscious thought, it was a daemon, and that's the basic concept. I think it's an interesting concept, because the concept of somebody simply having a thought that doesn't appear to come from their own cognition, it appears to just sort of arrive there like a ship pulling into port from parts afar. It is a strange concept. It is a little bit odd some ways how the human mentality can actually work. I've always thought it strange. For instance, within my own practice, I have thoughts like that all of the time for video ideas that have nothing to do with anything I'm thinking about necessarily at the time. Just a sudden burst of inspiration. Book ideas. Some of the books that I've written have come from that, really. Now, like the concept of the Book of Styx Hexenhammer, which I wrote most recently. It's not like I said, I'm going to find some book ideas here. No, it's just sort of popped into my head. Why haven't I written a book that's like literally just about all this weird sort of meme stuff with spoons in 10.2? It just sort of makes sense, but I hadn't thought of it before. It's just a sudden, very spontaneous thought that arrives. It goes into a little bit, when we're talking about daemons, it goes into the realm of parapsychology, really. It's not sort of like psychiatry, psychology, like the neural functions is properly contemporarily explained, being very mundane, although mysterious. Even those that are involved in mapping the pathways of the brain admit that relatively little is known about certain aspects of it. For instance, the full function of dreaming being sort of a decompression of the mind after the day, and it's very interesting, very strange how our brain basically shuts off many of its functions regularly in order to keep itself functioning, and will die if you go too long without sleep. By the way, the average length of time that you can go without sleep is considerably less than some of the records for how long people have gone without sleep. Very, very strange. It's like they should technically be dead. They must have some weird thing about them, maybe just a lot of caffeine or something. Maybe caffeine is just really, really neuroprotective. Trust me. I've got to keep my brain healthy. Jesus. How else am I going to deliver 4 videos a day for like the next 1,000 years or whatever? But no, inspiration is an interesting concept. Within the parapsychological context, of course, it's coming from some external source. Within normal psychology, the idea is coming from within your own mind. It's just we don't quite know exactly how these things are fully arising. They're a little bit mysterious to them. The occult has an answer, of course. Well, it literally is an external source. Maybe the tides of the cosmos have acted upon your neurons. A demon has crawled inside you. Your ancestor is guiding you towards some fundamental end goal. It's fate. Some god is involved. I find it very funny. I'll say this as well in passing. I find it funny how some people think, well, a god can suddenly appear to them mysteriously and lead them off in some particular direction, give them an idea, give them a goal, give them something that they're supposed to be doing. It's sort of divinely inspired. But if you tell them, oh, well, the ancients said that ghosts and like nature spirits did that. Oh, ha, 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 that's very, very funny. Ha, ha, you are making a joke. It's interesting to see how the progression of superstition over time really, and I don't say that with a negative connotation, it's just the best term for it, has changed over time really from an acceptance, even by the people who would later form the philosophical backbones of Christianity, who believed in all of those nature spirits and the witches and the ghosts and things, how it marches on through, and only very recently does any of that really depart. Being in the secular era, just within parts of the developed world, and typically only within the urban context therein, massively different understanding of human cognition than if you go out to some small village in Africa or some monastery in Tibet. Or so you're going to get a totally different rationale for how the concept of inspiration works. Now, I rely on inspiration, literally for my work. Like if you're going to write books, you're going to need inspiration. If you're going to make videos regularly, you're going to need inspiration. Otherwise, it's going to be very dry and boring. You're only going to be talking about current events. You're not going to have an occult playlist, that's for sure. Here's the thing. Within my own practice, I don't pray to some demon or something. So, oh, please inspire me, give me more video ideas. It just sort of comes naturally over time. When you get yourself into the frame of mind, I've noticed this. Once you admit the possibility and feel the possibility, sort of internalize, that there could be spiritual forces, inspiration comes more naturally. It's just a thing that as an anecdote here, it's just something that I've myself witnessed. I don't expect anyone else to conform to that or, govern their lives by that principle. That's organized religion, not spirituality. I, in fact, frown on it. Different story entirely. Maybe it'll help if you clank your spoon more often. You get inspiration. I've considered, by the way, and the video is basically over here, just a little bit of a micro rant here before I end the videos for the day. I've thought about just clanking the spoon for a while and looping it and making spoon clank ASMR. Maybe I'll do that at some point. That's about all. Peace out.